stop bad things is to make sure that you're working closely together. Under Mike's leadership, the House and the Senate have done that. I'll let Steve and Laura comment maybe some more on his leadership. The big thing, the reason we came together today, though, in addition to wanting to introduce you to Mike May, for those of you who haven't met him, was to talk about a bill that Governor Ritter will be signing tomorrow morning. For 30 years in the state of Colorado, under Republican governors and Democratic governors and Republican legislature and Democratic legislatures, the state of Colorado has found a way to manage its budget under a meaningful spending limitation. Between 1979 and the early 90s, that was a 7% limit on growth. So from 1992 until present, the government spending limit, the operating budget, has been limited at 6%. The bill that Governor Ritter will sign tomorrow repeals that very common sense legislation. In my opinion, the opinion of so many, moves us in the wrong direction. Just two broad points, and I'll turn it over to Representative May and Representative King and Bradford to make comments. First of all, the irony of it isn't lost on many folks. At a time when families are scraping to get by, everybody's spending less, this bill is an effort on the part of this governor and this legislature to spend more. What makes it even more ironic is that the states that are in the worst budget difficulty right now, states like New York and California, are actually talking about creating a spending limit like the one the governor will sign and repeal tomorrow. So again, it's moving exactly across the current of where the nation believes that we need to go. The last bit of public policy that's especially troubling is not only does this repeal the spending limit, it also authorizes the largest cut to transportation funding in the history of the state of Colorado. You'll remember at the start of the session, a lot of the focus was on transportation funding, a lot of talk about those 120 some odd bridges that are in a state of bad repair. And so the governor proposed about a $250 million vehicle registration fee increase to pay for those vehicles. And he signed that legislation, I think, in February or March. Well, in the same year that the governor signed a massive car tax to pay for new roads and bridges, he also will be signing the largest cut to transportation funding in the history of the state of Colorado. And the reason for that is simple. They want to spend transportation dollars on other programs. So it's I think, a cynical shell game that really turns on its head the case that they made for the fee increase in the first place. So it is bad public policy. We fought this one hard on the floor. The Republicans were almost entirely united against it. We debated this in the Senate till like 3:30 in the morning because we just thought this hill was too important to give the other side lightly, and we didn't. So with that, I will turn it over to Representative